Hello.
Hey everyone.
Hi everyone. Hopefully you're all enjoying day 2 of the English workshop, and welcome to our first lunchtime session. Woo! Hopefully you had some lunch or are eating lunch right now, about to watch. I'm Matt, and in this session we have 2 of our English workshop leaders, Hector and Cassandra, here. And we're going to have them introduce themselves and ask some questions. And then we would like you, the students and coaches and leaders watching, to submit your questions also. If you're watching on the YouTube, you can just comment and we will be able to see the questions live so Hector and Cassandra can answer them for us. So without that, let's get started. Well, Naho and Miki, you could say hi too. Introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, I'm Naho.
Hi, my name is Miki. Nice to meet you.
All right, and Cassandra, you want to introduce yourself first?
Yes. Hi everyone, my name is Cassandra. I am a leader in Homeroom 6, and I am very excited to be here. Should I go ahead and say the other things too?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. Well, I went to Duke University, which is in North Carolina in the United States. I majored in biology and I minored in global health and chemistry. And in my free time, I like watching anime, I like reading, I like to travel, and I also like hanging out with my friends, so spending time with friends. And my life mission is to make healthcare more equitable, meaning I want to make sure that anyone who wants to be able to receive healthcare can get it at any time. Thank you.
Thank you, Cassandra. So ask her about science if you're interested, or anime. and Hector, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hey everyone, my name is Hector, Alexis, Arrieta. You could just call me Helix. So I go to the University of California, San Diego, and as the name would imply, is in San Diego, California. And so that's where I currently am right now. And so my major is communication, but I also have 2 minors in business and political science. Some of my hobbies include roller skating, record collecting. What else? I also really like photography. I also do some knitting. I also play video games. I also do a bit of journalism. I always got to show this one off. I'm here at my newspaper office right now. I think this one is the one that has. Yep, this is the one that has one of my reviews. Not sure if it'll cooperate. Maybe. Okay, yeah, right here. So it was a review for the 2 Popes when it first came out, and then another article about Disney Plus when that first came out too. And I also like baseball. I'm personally a Dodgers fan, and I think that's like all my hobbies. And my life mission is to make it in the entertainment industry as an entertainment lawyer in order to represent like smaller artists within my community.
All right, thank you, Hector. But go Padres. Hector and I are baseball rivals. So ask Hector about entertainment or law. Start typing in your questions, but while we're waiting, I think we can ask you guys some questions. So, first question is, what do you guys like about the Global English Workshop? You're both back for a second or third year.
Right. Very good question. So for me, this is my 3rd year with the program. And what I enjoy about it is the cultural exchange that happens in the program. So I can teach students about my life in America and then also about my background as someone who was born in Ghana. But I can also learn from Japanese students about their lives in Japan and what they like to do. So I love that exchange that happens, and that keeps bringing me back every year.
great, Cassandra. What about you, Hector?
Okay, so like my reason for liking, like coming out of Japan, it requires some context. So I went to an all-boys Catholic high school, and one of our mottos was to be a man with and for others. And very much what that means is you always put the needs of others first, and you're always like you put the needs of others first, and you're also like a gentleman while doing it. And also during I think it was my freshman year, I had a math teacher who on the board one day before he left at the end of the school year, he wrote on the board, bring out the best version of others. And pretty much like that's kind of the reason. And so those two reasons are why I really like this program, because I'm able to be a man with and for others for these students, and then also bring out the best of these students. I have an example from last year where it's like I helped this one of my students with her presentation, and she was kind of on the shyer side at first, but then ended up giving one of like the best presentations that I had seen. Like didn't stumble once, did all like the eye contact with the camera, like you like gesticulated very well, which means like she moved her hands around a lot as she spoke, and just gave a really solid presentation. And that like to me like it was like everything for me, and that's kind of why I'm back here. Are you muted, Matt?
Yeah, I am. Thank you. I said both great reasons for coming back, and we're happy to have you both leading. Naho and Miki-san, do you have any questions that you can ask while we wait for students to chime in with their questions or coaches in the comments?
Yeah, let me remind all students again that 見てくださってる生徒の皆さんにもう一度リマインドなんですが、YouTube の方見ていただいてると思うんですけど、コメントで質問とか書き込めるようになってますので、今日来てくれてるコーチに聞きたいことあったら、英語でも日本語でも大丈夫です。気軽にコメントを入れてください。お願いします。はい。ミキさん、if you have any question for leaders.
Yeah, okay. So Hector, okay. So Hector and Cassandra, so you are now participating in Japanese English workshop. So what is your interest in Japan or Japanese culture?
I mean, sure. I mean, I could take this one first. So, my journey of like Japanese culture was like very interesting. So a bit of backstory. So my dad's a mechanic, and so that's kind of how I got my interest in cars. And one of my favorite types of cars has always been Japanese cars. It's like especially the ones from the 80s and 90s, like like the Toyota Supra, the Nissan Skyline, and then like all these like other ones. And so that was like my first introduction. I'm like, yeah, cars, technology, and that sort of thing. And then after a while, that was kind of my introduction, and obviously the food. LA, there's like a lot of like like Japanese like restaurants, and so it was like those are like my two main things. And then after that, I discovered like a genre of music that's called a vaporwave, which is like it slows down songs. However, the very near sibling of vaporwave is future funk, which technically like speeds up the music and adds like these like sort of drums and splices and lyrics in between the beat. And the primary like place where they get samples is from Japanese like 80s pop. And so that was like my second like new coming of my interest in Japan. And I was like, oh my god, this music is amazing. And it's like now I listen to like Japanese city pop, I listen to Japanese jazz, I listen to like Japanese like classical, some Japanese rock. And touching back on future funk, this like leads to my third. So a lot of the music videos that they use are gifs from anime. And so because of these gifs, I'm like, oh, this show looks pretty cool. I like the animation. Let me check it out. And that's kind of how I discovered like some of my favorite animes, like Cowboy Bebop, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And so that's kind of like so it's been just different phases of like my admiration for Japan. Like the cars, technology, architecture, and then of like of like music, and then now of like anime. So it's like it's been different phases of my interest.
I see. So many chances to be exposed to Japanese culture. And Do you play any instrument yourself?
Oh, sadly, no. I don't play
Oh.
instruments. I was
And
always
what?
more of a sports kid kind of growing up.
I see. I see. What is your favorite Japanese food?
Ooh, that's kind of hard. If I had, I mean, I don't want to say sushi or ramen because those are kind of like the more popular ones. But if I had to give like a pretty good response, I would say onigiri. I just really like that it's like very like handheld and portable, and it's like just like really like great snack to have.
Ah, I see. Okay. Thank you very much, Hector. So, Cassandra, what is your interest in Japan?
A good question. So for me, I sort of became exposed to Japanese culture around middle school time. So between the ages of 10 and 12, I just started watching a lot of anime at that time. And I loved the ability for the shows to express themselves, through like voice acting, but then also how beautiful and colorful it was. And at that time, I was very much into Pokemon. So that just got me very interested. And I subsequently did more research about that, watched more anime shows. And in my, when I was in college, I had the chance to do this program. So I had the chance to actually go to Japan. And when I was there in Tokyo, I loved everything about it. Everything I loved. I loved the city. I loved the people. I loved how exciting everything was. So that just kept me interested in the culture and also obviously the food too. I had a chance to do a cooking class through the Global English Workshop, which introduced me to a lot of Japanese cooking techniques, and I love that too.
Thank you. Oh, that is very good experience you had. Ah, I see. And do you have any plan to come to Japan
You know,
sometime?
immediately once the Japanese government allows, you know, foreigners to come without all the additional stuff that they require, I'll be the first one on a plane there. I am so excited to come back.
Yeah. We are waiting for you to come.
What's your favorite food, Cassandra? Since you like the food too.
Oh, that is a difficult question too, but I will say either miso soup with
Mm.
all the fun little additions to it, like radish or tofu added to it, and also ramen, all of it, shoyu ramen, salt, all of. I like all of it.
I want some ramen now. Okay, I have one more question since you both like anime. I think Hector mentioned JoJo's and another one. Cassandra, what are your guys' top anime? We'll see if the
Top.
students agree
Top.
with you.
Okay.
If you had to pick one.
Easy. Cowboy Bebop.
Okay. Yep, you did say that one. I've seen a great one.
Yeah, but
Cassandra?
I can give my reasoning though.
Okay.
Okay, it's like so pretty much like the music. Like I love jazz, and it's like that's like the primary base of the soundtrack, and just the way. So pretty much, if I remember correctly, a lot of the episodes were built around the music. So the music came first, and then everything else came after. And so pretty much you can see that in the fight choreography, where it's like the animation just flows with the music, and just from the first episode, from the first like fight scene between like Spike Spiegel, the main character, and the like the antagonist of that episode, it's like I was just instantly hooked, and then I was just like then I was instantly hooked with like each character arc, and like and it's a very short series, like you can watch it in like one evening, and also that's also what I like about it. And I would like I've seen it like maybe twice all the way through, once like in high school, once like maybe like my freshman year of college, and I had to go through it again because it's I can't get enough of it.
All right. Yeah. It's a good one. Cowboy Bebop, Cassandra?
That is a good one. So for me, I have two. I know you said just one.
Oh, cheating.
So in terms of nostalgia, there is an anime called Inuyasha. It's a little bit older, But I love that anime. Every couple of years, I watch all 169 original episodes all over again because I love how it makes me feel. I know the story, but I still love seeing it, all over again. And both the sub and the dub are great. So, I switch it up every time. So that's for nostalgia reasons. And it's also a great show. And then there's this one called Monster, which is from 2004. It's sort of a psychological thriller, sort of like a mystery kind of anime, and I love it because it's so well researched and well done, and I love watching it.
Oh, wait, Monster. It sounds familiar. Isn't it the one where it's like the? I mean, that name sounds so familiar, but I can't remember the plot.
So it's a doctor. It's about this doctor who something happens, and he has to go on this quest to I can't ruin it for you, but it's about a doctor.
Let me just watch it.
Let me just search it because I was talking to my friend about it one time.
I'm gonna watch it tonight.
Okay, I have heard of this one before. Yeah, I have heard of it.
Well, if any students are watching or coaches and have their favorite animated, type in. Oh, a question for Hector and Cassandra. Oh, there you go.
That's a good question.
Mm.
Do you
really
prefer being a coach or a leader more? So on one hand, I like being a leader because I love being able to support coaches to do work that I also really love, which is being with the students. You'll find me in the classrooms a lot, just either listening or participating. So this may be a cop-out, but I do love both of them equally. But I guess maybe a leader a little bit more because I do get to help more coaches do that same work.
Yeah, and I guess for me, okay, so just a big question. This might make me look a bit unprepared, but from what I have heard, some leaders will pretty much will be needed to teach eventually, right? Like on one weekend. Okay, so pretty much based on that, I would say leader because I get the best of both worlds. I'm able to teach and I'm able to help all the other coaches as well. So that I just kind of do as a leader. So it's also kind of a cop out. I get to do both. That's why I like being a leader.
You guys both said both.
Yeah.
In your own way. That's good though. That's part of it. That's what makes the program special. So I hope Ta is satisfied with the answers. And there's an anime.
This is the favorite anime. Code Geass.
Well, while we're waiting for more questions, I have another question. Cassandra, I know you've been to Tokyo, and of course we were there in the same summer. And Hector, you have not been, right?
Nope.
Well, to both of you, Hector for the first time and Cassandra going back, what place do you want to visit in Japan the most?
I mean, this is kind of a cop out, but also Tokyo. It's like, it's been a place where I've always been wanting to go. So it's like that's just simplest answer, and then from there didn't go everywhere else. But it's like the major city. Of course, I have to go there first.
And Cassandra could give you the recommendations. And you should, of course. What about you?
So I would have said Osaka because I never got to visit. But I think I'm going to pick Hokkaido because when I was there were these little milk candies that I loved getting so often, and it said Hokkaido on it. So I want to go to the source and find out how they make it.
I love it. The candy. Miki-san and Naho-san, can you approve that? Is that the candy that Cassandra's talking about?
I know. I think I know the candy Cassandra mentions, and I believe it's really good. And also there are so many good foods or souvenirs in Hokkaido. So yeah, and seafood is also good there, I think.
Can't wait.
By the way, I have been to Osaka only once in my life, although I am in Japan
Wow.
all my life.
Did you like it? Did you like?
Yeah, I liked it, but I missed getting the okonomiyaki or like takoyaki there. So if I have a chance to go there again, I'll definitely get it.
Awesome. I will do that too. Yeah.
Yeah, you should do that, and you should get a recipe how to make it.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a question to both of you. So, Hector goes to Duke. Cassandra goes to Duke University, and Hector goes to University of California. So, what is the like amazing point of your university?
Well,
Hector.
yes. Well, besides the location, like La Jolla, it's like a very beautiful area. It's like it's the nicest part of San Diego. And it's like you're also like not that far from Mexico if you're want to go to like TJ, you want to go to or well, for those who don't know, TJ is Tijuana, and if you want to go there, it's close by, and even then like you're not you're not that far away from LA, so that's also there too. But the main draw was like the actual college system. So currently we have like 7 different colleges within UCSD, and pretty much like each one kind of determines your experience in regards to like what dorms you stay at, what actual like general education classes you take, and just like your overall like school spirit. And so that's kind of one of the biggest draws like to UCSD. And yeah, that's my favorite parts about it.
That's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, Cassandra, please.
So for me, Duke University, one of the best parts about it, in my opinion, is how beautiful the campus is. It has this Gothic architecture that makes you feel like you are back in time. But the best parts about being back in time, the architecture. I think also Duke University has one of the biggest health systems in the area. So for anyone who is interested in medicine or science, it's a great place to study for that. I mean, there's many other things you can do there, but that is one of the biggest draws is their health system that they have attached to the university.
I see. Thank you very much. I know that universities in other countries are really big, and I've studied abroad in US and at the university, and the university was also big. So yeah, I'm sure that if students in participating in the program studies abroad in the future, they will surely be amazed by that.
Where'd you study in the U.S.?
I studied abroad in Washington State.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
Rainy.
Yeah, rainy.
beautiful.
Yes.
All right, students, where are you going to go? San Diego, Duke, Washington?
There are so many options in the world.
Yeah. Okay. Well, lunch is about to end. So thank you, students and coaches, for watching. Thank you, Cassandra and Hector, very much. Appreciate it. And Miksan and Naho-san. And we've got 5 minutes left for your lunch break. So please enjoy it and see you back in the homerooms. Continue day 2.
Bye.
See y'all.
See you. See you soon.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.